From the KLIF 24/7 newsroom, news and information, 570 AM, 96.3 FM, HD2.
KLIF. Jurors who will determine the fate of Dallas County Commissioner John Wiley Price will be picked starting today. Chris Lewis is a criminal defense attorney at Crain, Lewis and Brogdon in Dallas. He joins us now to discuss the details of the upcoming trial. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, guys. How are y'all doing?
Good. So this trial, gosh, is years in the making. I mean, I think it was back in, 2011 that John Wiley Price's office was raided by the FBI?
Yeah, it's been a long time, and I'm sure, like every federal case, there was probably an investigation going on before then, and the investigation has continued, and that's why we see so many witnesses on the government's witness list and so many documents.
That witness list is like a who's who of Dallas.
And the size and scope of the whole thing is, how do you begin to put something together like this? As a defense attorney, how do you begin to defend against, how many allegations are there?
There's a time, I mean, we've got 150 witnesses, and if y'all saw, there was like 9 terabytes of information that was turned over in the discovery process. And that is it's probably why Judge Lynn gave such a long continuance, because there is just so much information to go through. And I've heard projections that this case is going to last 4 months. Yes, the question, how do you prepare for it? I don't know that you do. This is literally a mountain of evidence, and what the defense is going to have to do is they're going to have to weather the storm until they get their chance to tell their side of the story.
If you're John Wiley Price, are you worried about having the trial here in Dallas County where he's known so well?
No, I think, actually I think it's a double-edged sword, because what works against him also works for him. Everyone in and around Dallas have very strong opinions about John Wiley Price. There's lots of people that believe he's a crook, and there's lots of people who believe he's the people's champion. He's known as our man downtown. He's been in public office for over 40 years and over 30 years as a commissioner. And there's a lot of people who feel like John Wiley Price, for the African American community and other minorities and women, is a real people's champion.
Well, as you say, over 30 years as a Dallas County commissioner, and he is accused of taking almost $1 million worth of bribes over the past decade or more in the form of cash and cars and land and so forth. And it begs the question, how does somebody get away with that much without other people knowing and somebody blowing the whistle, or at least pointing the right people in the right direction?
Well, you bring up a very good point, and here's going to be the toughest thing, Dave, for the defense. You've got somebody that's a civil servant, and also the jury pool is not just Dallas; it's the Northern District of Texas. So you've got Kaufman County and Rockwall County, and you've got all the way over to Johnson County. So you have a lot of small counties, a lot of very conservative people. I think the question is going to be, where does this person get millions of dollars and lots of high-end luxury cars? And I think that there's going to be the presumption or the assumption that there had to have been some self-dealing. And why did he have it all in, or a lot of it in cash? And I think those are some of the things that are going to be in the back of the jurors' minds that the defense is really going to have to address, and they're going to have to overcome those presumptions.
If you're representing John Wiley Price, who do you want to see on the jury?
I would like to see a lot of people from Dallas County. I would like to see a lot of people who are familiar with John Wiley Price and the fact, I would actually think that the more people who knew about his trailblazing background and about his very big personality, I think that would play very, very well. And, truth be told, the government gets to go first. I don't know how many months that they're going to spend putting on their case, but it is going to be almost impossible to overcome all of that. I want to see people. I want to see my constituents is who I want to see if I'm John Wiley Price.
And if you're his attorney, do you want to see him on the witness stand?
I think so. People want an explanation, although you don't make it on the jury unless you say that you can give a person their Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. I think in a situation like this, you want John Wiley to take the stand to say, hey, this is where this money came from. There was no self-dealing. I've been fair. I've always been fair. And he's such a charismatic individual. He's used to being front and center. He's used to the press. He's used to being on stage, and I think that the defense could use that to their advantage.
His longtime executive assistant, Daphne Faun, is accused of helping him. She's also charged in this case. I forget, are they going to be tried separately or together?
No, they're going to be tried together. I think the one tried separately is going to be Kathy Neely, and the reason why is her attorneys argued that in the past, our last corruption trial, that she testified on behalf of the government. She has worked with the government in the past as a government witness, and they made the argument successfully that she should. Her prosecution should be handled in a separate trial.
Is there any suggestion that this trial in itself could bring about some evidence that might drag some other fish into the net?
You know, sometimes that happens, but I think in this situation, as you pointed out earlier, they did the raid in 2011, so there was an investigation undoubtedly going on before that, and there has been a lot go on since. I think that they've got everybody caught in that net, so to speak, that they're going to catch at this point in time. If there were others, you know, the government can choose who they want to prosecute and who they don't. There may be some bit players, or maybe people who have cooperated as a confidential informant or a confidential source. So undoubtedly there were other people involved, and I know that there have been some who have already, or at least two that have pleaded guilty and plan to testify for the prosecution.
If Commissioner Price is convicted of these charges, is he essentially going away for life?
Well, he's 64, I believe, or he's either 64 or 66 right now, about to have a birthday in April. They say he's facing up to 33 years in prison. I don't know if he's going away for life. And here's the other possibility. The other possibility is he's convicted of some counts. He's not convicted of others. I think the maximum he's looking at 33 years. But I think if he's found guilty, he's going away for quite a while.
All right, Chris Lewis, criminal defense attorney at Crain, Lewis and Brogdon. We appreciate your expertise. KLIF News Time is 7:25. Let's get an update on traffic now with Bill.